something I wanted to say. Everybody's pretty much understanding that the notion of the Big Bang has had to change. We no longer believe that it was an explosion or that it was a bang at all because of the omnidirectional spread in which we are slowly experiencing. Well, I have a theory. If everything spread out evenly at one time, multiple directions, right? But we know there was a force that caused it because there is no object that enters motion with inertia without having a force act upon it. The more I'm thinking about it, the more a pulse seems pretty right. A pulse would give us the omni spread in which we see, and the red matter would just be a denser area where the more pressure was forced. Maybe. I don't know. See, I break things down from relativity pretty drastically. You got the big being, right? We all know it. It's the creator, the source, whatever you want to call it. The closest we see to it would be the nebulas. Okay. I think nebulas kind of look like blood pathogens to me. I don't know. That's a big stretch. But I do know that our planets and our solar system do look like atoms, function like atoms, and we function like neutrons. We function like neutrons. So with that basic understanding, I went really deep into overthinking things. This is what ADHD, disorders kind of does. And when I broke molecular science all the way down, I got a clear understanding of the universe. We are atoms, in essence, on a neutron, floating around an atom. And then we have, and on our most simplest form that we can see, atoms, with neutrons floating around. But it builds complex things. I believe the force that pushes everything away is sound. It's resonance and it's frequency. And when I'm done, you'll understand why I say all three, because they are one and the same, also known as space-time. I know, it's a big stretch, right? Just hear me out. So, this pulse that happened, right? Of course, there's going to be a flux in a pulse. Flux explains expansion. Well, when you have feelings, does it feel like a vibration inside your body? Like a resonance before you actually get the emotional heat exchange and thermal dispersion of your glandular, whatever, dopamines, cytose, whatever it is you're experiencing at the time. But it starts out with a vibration deep inside your chakra, your center chakra. It travels all the way up to your brain, all the way out to your fingers. And the most common way to feel this is when you feel true love. Because in true love, it's one of the most purest emotions you've ever felt. And I believe when you feel that emotion, you feel the Creator. And your personal stream is attached to you that leads you back to the source. I believe we all have these strings attached to us, and they make the fabric of space and time. It's a big stretch, I know, but it makes sense to me. Okay. So, therefore, in turn, space-time is resonance. It is a frequency in which we are engulfed in. It is what holds our molecules together and keeps us flowing as we do. Wait for Autodesk to load up. I'm trying to do some CAD work. Anyway. If we understand that resonant frequency and vibrations are the key to unlocking space-time, that would mean that we would need to know what frequency space-time is at, and we could just hit it with the opposite frequency, resonance, in the right environment, not necessarily controlled, because you have to have all the elements there if you want to manipulate something with structure. Now, I'm not saying we should do this, people, because we don't have no way of measuring space-time. Until we understand how to measure space-time, we really shouldn't play with it, because without measuring it, you're not controlled experimenting, you're just tampering. I believe that no bounds should be put on innovation, but I think through innovation we should find boundaries. It's a very important statement. If you're a responsible innovator, you know when you reach the boundary. My understanding of molecular science led me to think, why can't we molecularly alter anything with the right frequency and force? So my theory came to, I want to molecularly alter gold. And that's what I did, people. I took gold and carbon and copper and hit it with a 5 Tesla magnetic pulse at 6 nanoseconds per pulse and alternated currents. Not physically, because I don't have the 20,000 to actually make this happen, but as soon as I do, you will see. But at that high of a magnetic force, you're actually able to alter and control these molecules. But not only that, you start to break down the neutrons, because it overexerts them from letting go and bonding, and letting go and bonding, and letting go and bonding. That neutron gone and that atom still left, that material is now in perpetual motion and completely molecularly unstable. Then I induced the copper and the charcoal. Charcoal for its pores effect, copper for its conductivity, and gold for its transference. I've got all the specs. I ran it through a lot of CAD work, ran it through a lot of Python, ran it through a lot of everything. Let's just say the tensile strength is outrageous. The conductivity is off the charts. This is an energy harvester. It needs a little work, but still the piezoelectric charging effect is there. The science all backs itself. Regardless of anything else, I make gold more conductive. The most conductive material there is. I've advanced on that. I'm working on trying to achieve funding so I can show the world how important this is. It's not just about that, people. I really want to show you how important love is. Not just love for somebody, love for anything. And you notice I didn't say everything, because everything is finite. I said anything. Anything that can be or could be. You should love it more than you could possibly love yourself. Because in some instance, you might be that anything next. It just makes logical. You don't know what you're coming back as. You don't know how you come back. So in essence, why wouldn't you treat everything as it's you in the next life? In doing so, you have a whole new understanding on how to love your brother, how to love your sisters, how to love humanity. We have become a species that's confused because of the notion of independence. Independence is the biggest lie that you could ever tell yourself. You don't think you depend on everything around you? You got another thought coming. Interdependence is the only concept that is constant throughout all of existence. And we claim independence. Why? Because we like to put a hatchet through the middle of a piece of wood to make sure it never goes back together. Because that's about what happens. To advance as a civilization, we are going to have to break down walls that have been constructed since the dawn of time. People ain't going to like it. But if you experience it, you'll love it. There's nothing like it. I believe that if I take trash out of the earth, reduce our carbon footprint, and make a material that's actually productive, utilitarian, and very, very, very utilitarian and versatile, we could start the beginning of a circular economy. My name's Joshua Simpson. I'm with SSS Energy Solutions. Currently SNS, but in the process of switching it up. I like the three S's. They remind me of the river of life and the Taoist way. There's 3 Simpsons in my family. SSS works. Totally believe in the Tao and the ever-flowing river that pushes us along. Lao Tzu told us you can flow with a river and you can fight it all you want, but the more you fight that river, the harder you're going to slam into them banks. But if you ride that current down smoothly and you don't cause no commotion, you're still going to hit them banks. That's a lot smoother than if you forced it. I'm a firm believer in the Tao and its benefits on life. We all know that we are not in control. We all know we ask for things for something that we are aware has more control than we do. I'm just asking people, why do you fight so hard to change the future without working on it in the present? Why do you focus so much on the past if you're not just trying to learn something? The Taoists say, bring me a man focused on that past, and I'll show you a man drowning in depression. Bring me a man planning for the future constantly, I'll show you a man riddled with anxiety. Show me a man that knows himself and that he is living in the now, I'll show you a person that can experience true peace. And that resonates with me and led me down the way of the woo way. Effortless achievement, people. Sounds so unfathomable, doesn't it? But I've achieved it. I've seen it. There's no reason to fight the current if it's coming anyway. Matter of fact, it just might miss your turn if you're fighting to get down that river. If you go down that river too fast, you're going to miss something. And trust me, the universe has a plan for all of us. I'm Joshua Simpson. If you like my message, like, click, subscribe, whatever that jive is. This is my first video. It ain't going to be my last. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Josh, and I'm going to teach you the way of harmonious resonance in life, in science,